Ready? Let's start. Starting with the first one, that is the main topic of this video, is the AWS Spend Management centralized via consolidated billing views. So as mentioned, this general availability of the consolidated billing views for a single organization, it will help you a lot define specific cost categories, distribute views across organization, and aggregate data for unified analysis in a single point. So especially if you are a FinOps centralized team working for a large organization, you know that dealing with AWS organization and multiple accounts is a pain. It has been a pain for a lot of features that are affecting FinOps. So with this, it will help a lot of the FinOps centralized team getting business units granular data, comparing with others, centralize everything, multiple organizations in a single place. So definitely take a look. Let me know how helpful it has been. What do you think it could be improved? And share it with the AWS team. You will have all the details in the description for the complete update. So I think this is a huge release for the FinOps team. And let's continue with other news. As I think one of the most important ones of this week is the ECS Managed Instances. So as you know, Managed Instances is very useful for having reduced the overhead of managing your ECS workloads. So if you are working with containerized applications and you don't want the hassle of Kubernetes, ECS is a very good alternative, especially if you are working with monolithic applications or the small applications in general. ECS is very useful, and now with managed instances, it definitely reduced the overhead cost, which is one of the forgotten costs in FinOps, is the time and the TCO spent in managing the whole thing. So now you have security enhancement, automatic EC2 selections. So if you don't have the power to customize your EC2 or you don't want to, definitely take a look at ECS Managed Instances and see if it fits your workloads, especially for POCs. I would definitely recommend taking a look at it. Continuing on with tagging. So as you know, in FinOps Weekly, tagging is one of our main topics that we want to discuss. We even have a course about it, tagging and naming conventions by Alfonso San Miguel. We leave you a link in the description below. An update will be on that course soon. I hope you are as eager as we are to know more about it. Going to the topic, we have updates on CloudWatch and Bedrock Agent Core. So for Bedrock Agent Core, pretty simple. Now it's able to be tagged as a resource, so you can now do cost allocation for it. So especially now that we're seeing a lot of AI cost, and if you're using Agent Core, definitely take a look at that and start tagging it as soon as you can if you are into tagging. As you know, this topic is very controversial. Some people are into tagging, some people are not. And if you are doing so, please do put some tags into your Agent Core agents. On CloudWatch, it supports resource tags for monitoring embedded organizational structure. So basically, by application or team. So now it adapts automatically by deployments. All the information will be described in the specific update, because it's a very important update. I think for people that are moving into a granular level, CloudWatch is very useful and it's a source of truth for almost anything running across AWS applications. So if you play with this feature, let me know the granularity level, the results that you are getting, and if it's useful to improve your governance and whether or not you can improve your automations for governance, which is basically the whole thing of using tagging, that you can automate it and you can have the walrus and everything into your FinOps practice. So now moving on to Amazon EBS GP3 Volume Improvements. As you know, GP2 to GP3 change was one of the quickest wins that you can get in AWS and one of the most commented topics that you can have in FinOps. So now the thing is that you have 4x the limited maximum size in GP3 volume. So if you have like huge workloads and that needs better IOPS, better throughput, and less operational overhead, definitely take a look at the new changes. Of course, adapt the workload to the specific size. Do not push the maximum size because it's new highs. But if you need IOPS and throughput that is pushing to the limit, please take a look at that, because maybe this is a very useful feature for you. Now you have limits that your developer needs to control, because now they can expand and cost you more as a FinOps practitioner. So be very careful, check your guardrails to have more limits in your GP3 capacity provisioning. And finally, one of my favorite features in AWS is the AWS Compute Optimizer, and they have expanded support for now 99 more new EC2 instances. So you have more price performance improvements, more user recommendations in this new list of EC2 instances. So go to the full update and check all the new EC2 instances and see if your workloads use any of them, so that you can update and see the recommendations that the AWS Compute Optimizer. From the community, you only get good information from these tools, so definitely take a look at that, because Ricox and the team are doing an excellent job in the Compute Optimizer workload. And ending with AWS, there are reserved instances for DB2 workloads. So basically, there is the debate with reserved instances. So if you have stable workloads, you can use the reserved instances to reduce your costs for stable consumption. Of course, don't use reserved instances where you don't need them, because you will be wasting a lot of money and resources for your commitment. So if you are going to commit to them, be careful about the decision, control the decision, and measure how many of them would you need. Or if it's something that is spiky and you only need for POC, definitely use the on-demand pricing, because it will be cheaper for you in terms of time per consumption. And that's all for AWS. So now it takes Azure, but before that, we have something to tell you. Is your cloud spending out of control and reducing your business innovation? It's not a problem of your teams, it's a strategic one. Cost management model has changed in the cloud. Learn how to turn every dollar spent in the cloud into a competitive advantage at the FinOps Weekly Summit 2025. We'll give you all the keys to controlling your costs and bringing more value to your business. 2 days of talks where FinOps experts will teach you how to reduce your cloud cost. Will be 12 hours of content and networking to help you establish a culture of financial and engineering efficiency. Do you really want to take control of your cloud cost? Register now and secure your spot. Join us the 23rd and the 24th of October at 3 p.m. European time, 9 a.m. US Eastern time. You will find all the information in the link below. Limited seats are available, so see you inside. Okay, so now let's move on with Azure. We have the AKS general availability of automatic Kubernetes management. So now you have like an autopilot in GKE version of AKS, which basically helps you handle the node provisioning, the maintenance and the repairs, and the intelligent auto-scaling. This is very useful if you don't have specific requirements for your Kubernetes cluster workloads, and if you don't have the operational people that can manage your Kubernetes cluster. So this is very useful for POCs, starting projects. It can start over here and then expand and have all the capabilities automatically managed by AKS. So definitely test it out, especially for POCs. If you have custom requirements, I would test better on normal Kubernetes cluster, because then you can adapt. But for standard workloads, you can have HPA, VPA, KEDA, Carpenter, all of them in the automated Kubernetes cluster in AKS. So for anyone using Kubernetes workloads in Azure, definitely take a look at that. All the details will be in the description. And continuing on with the unified Microsoft Marketplace. So the Microsoft Azure Marketplace and the Microsoft AppSource have been unified into a single marketplace called Microsoft Marketplace. So this is relevant for FinOps, because now all the Microsoft Azure consumption commitment, the MACC, are eligible for the tools that are in this unified marketplace. So now you can control in a single marketplace all the consumption of your third-party software in Azure, which is very helpful because, as you know, a lot of third-party consumption is one of the cost drivers in FinOps, and normally it's in different places and it's difficult to handle. So I think Azure move here is very, very intelligent, and it will simplify the life of people both in FinOps and in procurement to manage all the consumption for third-party usage. So now definitely take a look at that and control the consumption in the Microsoft Marketplace. Starting with Google Cloud, we have the in-place VPA optimization for GKE workloads. So for those that don't know about VPA. Stands for Vertical Pod Autoscaler. It's an element that you use in Kubernetes to increase the resource limits and requests for your pods automatically. So basically, it's very helpful to automatically resize or right size the workloads that you have in Kubernetes. It can be used in combination with HPA and other tools, but for HPA specifically, you cannot have like conflicting metrics, so you cannot have like a VPA in CPU and an HPA in CPU, because the tool won't know where to decide if it's going to start scaling horizontally with the HPA or vertically with the VPA. So it's something that is very useful. It use it the right way, especially with the recommendation, and you can have it in. It can help you reduce cost in your workloads and more automate your right sizing tool. So definitely take a look at that and check the automations that you can do with it. So how we can leverage all these updates as FinOps? So first of all is the automation. So as we have seen, all the cloud tagging that can be automated with CloudWatch, and all the GKE updates and the AKS updates for automation with the VPA and the automated clustering AKS can help you automate a lot of the overhead, along with the ECS Managed Instances. It can reduce a lot the overhead that you have in DevOps, so that these people can do other stuff that provide more value to your business. Then we have better visibility, especially with the billing view unification provided by AWS across multiple organizations. So I would definitely take a look at that feature if you are in a large company. I think it will save a lot of time in doing reports and doing analysis for your data in AWS. And of course, the intelligent features and the marketplace management. So as always talk, we have the FinOps cash flow talking about it, about the marketplace, the procurement, the finance role. These features are more on that role, so you can help these people in your departments learn more about it and control everything easily in a single marketplace. So definitely take a look at that. And with all of these features, you would have like a more proactive, more simplified FinOps management with both technology in the cloud, like the Kubernetes cluster, the EC2 instances, the ECS Managed Instances, and for third-party data such as what is provided in the Microsoft Marketplace. So that has been all for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave a like and subscribe to get more updates like this next week. See you soon. Bye bye.